call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go! I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts obsession, I will not stop, no I'm never second.
Welcome back, everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe if you like this video. Now today we're going to be diving into a couple of the offensive tackles that we can get in free agency. I think we need to make that a priority. I think people are downplaying Tua never having a blindside protector on the team since he's been drafted. I think this is so important because basically the whole entire offensive line, you can see the tackle that is on your blind side is the only spot that you can't see, hence why they call it a blind side. I really think that we need to target this and get a solid starting right tackle in this free agency. I think if you give Tua time, he's going to carve anybody up, and now he has the defense that is going to allow him to learn how to undercut zone defenses and figure that out on top of man. So number one, my favorite choice out of all this is Mike McGlinchey. Guy is on the 49ers. He's a right tackle on the 49ers, and the guy is a very good offensive tackle. He is not going to cost Tyreek Hill money. He's going to cost a decent amount, probably like 15 a year, maybe like 4 years, 50 to 60 million. But the guy's a solid offensive tackle, and on top of all of that, he knows the system. He knows the system that Mike McDaniel's trying to run, and he knows how to protect and what to do. He knows the terminology. He knows everything. So he's going to be coming into a situation where he can just blossom, and it's just going to really help Tua grow as a person and as a quarterback. The guy has had veteran experience. He knows, what to see, what to look for, and Mike McDaniel is familiar with him because he was with him in the 49ers. So I think out of all of them, it would be your best bet to get him just because he knows the offense. He knows what you're trying to do. He doesn't need to learn a whole bunch, and he's not going to break the bank. He's going to cost a decent amount, but he's not going to break the bank. Now, number two is going to be Orlando Brown. He plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to be, and the reason why he's number two is he's going to be the biggest price tag. The guy is probably going to cost, I'd say, almost the same amount as Teron Armstead. He's going to be that type of guy. The talent is really good. The talent is there. He's a pretty good offensive tackle. And the only problem that I see with this is, one, you're coming from a scheme that is from a spread wide offense. Now you're going to a West Coast running zone. It's going to be difficult to transition from that to that because you need to be a run blocker and you need to be very versatile as an offensive lineman. I think he can learn it, but I think just for the price tag, I think there are so many other needs on this team that you really need to hone in on some of the other things and not spend all your money on, getting a all price tag paid offensive tackle. So like I said, great player, just I think for the price tag, we need to get a middle linebacker, we need to get a safety, we need to get a couple of other things that could really help this team prosper. Number three is going to be Caleb McGrary, and he's going to be on the Atlanta Falcons. This guy's a younger guy, which is what I kind of like too. Again, he's not going to break the bank. He's not going to be cheap as well. He's kind of going to be in the middle, which is something that I really prefer. I'd really prefer that middle ground tackle that is solid and you can build off of him. He is the one issue that I see with him is just going to be basically that he runs a lot of running offense, and the passing offense is what I'm caring about as well. I like the running offense, and I think that we can teach a run blocking scheme, but the pass blocking, he was 66%. He was pretty good, but I just the team that he was on, he just ran the ball a lot, and passing was not as much as it's going to be with our team. I think we draw back with Tua a lot more, and I just want somebody that's going to be a pretty decent pass blocker on that side. But what I do see is that he's a very young player, so he has upside. He has that, you can build him and make him better, whereas some of the other ones, they're going to be up in age. But yeah, he's a pretty solid pick, not going to break the bank, probably another 4-year, $30-40 million guy. But he's going to, again, he's a pretty sturdy guy that I think if the other two don't pan out, this is another option that you can get where he fits your running scheme. They do run just like we run, but his pass blocking could get better. And he's shown that he has upside. I mean, he has gotten better at pass blocking every single year. And I think he can continue to build off of it. I think that's a good third option out of the other two. And number 4, that's going to be Jawan Taylor for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's more of a run blocking right tackle. He's pretty solid in pass protection, and I hope he can build off of it. Like I said, this is going to be the 4th option. I'm not too high on getting him because he's also going to cost probably the same amount. But I really want, again, someone that can pass block, someone that can really, allow Tua to feel safe in the pocket and not feel like he has to rush every single throw. Sometimes I feel like is that he feels rushed, and I think a lot of that time that has to do with the right tackle just not being solid. So he feels like he has to get the ball out quicker sometimes, and that's his thing. He loves getting the ball out quick. That's what I think we appreciate about him. But I also think that we need to allow him to not feel like he's rushed every single snap, which I think has really been a problem, and he's gotten used to it. But I think it is a solid problem that he feels rushed on every single pass attempt that he tries. And I think if you get somebody that can pass block, he is going to have those times where I think you saw a lot of time that when he got too much time, he kind of screwed it up when he was in the pocket. A lot of time he was better when he was just getting the ball out quick. And honestly, when he had time, that's when he started throwing interceptions and trying to do too much because he felt like he needed to rush it. And I think if you get somebody that's solid that can protect him, you're always going to feel like you have a decent amount of time, and then you can kind of feel that pressure coming instead of always having like a free rusher or something like that. Now, our pass blocking was a little bit better this year, but it still wasn't much better, and I think it also has to do with Tua just gets the ball out, so that's why our offensive line looks better than what it actually is, because Tua gets the ball out probably the quickest in the NFL. And like I said, I just think this should be a really predominant off-season pickup. I think this will solidify the line long enough so that he has a good protection in front of him, and you're not trying to put in backups all the time to fill starting roles. I think this is probably the biggest off-season need besides middle linebacker and safety, strong safety. And I think we're going to solidify it. These are the 4 players that I think we should get, obviously from 1 to 4. And I think if we get any one of these players, we're going to solidify that position and be able to move forward with our team. But like I always say, hope you have a great rest of your day. Fins up. Peace.